Welcome to a special weather briefing with the National Weather Service in Spokane. Today is Sunday, September 6, 2020, and we're going to be talking about Monday, September 7th. So what do we expect for Monday? Well, a strong cold front will move through our area and it's going to bring gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. So looking at the image on the right, you can see it varies by location, but in general, it's between 40 and 50 miles an hour. So this is going to bring some impacts, and we're going to talk about each one of these in the following slides. But with these winds, they're going to elevate fire danger, they're going to bring blowing dust, they're going to make travel difficult, and they could possibly lead to localized power outages and downed trees. One more thing to note, that it's not really a potential impact, but it's going to be much cooler on Monday, and it's really going to feel like fall. Temperatures in Spokane will be in the 70s and upper 60s, and the wind's going to be blowing, that's for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about fire weather. So our main concern for tomorrow is that any new and existing fires will have the potential to spread quite rapidly, okay? And this is because a combination of three things. It's going to be windy, it's going to be dry, and the fuels that are available to burn are also very dry. So you can see the area in pink is where we have our red flag warning. And it's basically our way of saying, fires have the potential to spread quite rapidly. So you also notice that we don't have the Cascades or the Idaho Panhandle in this red flag warning. But we are still expecting elevated fire weather conditions there. They just don't happen to reach our criteria. So next up on our list for potential impacts for tomorrow is blowing dust. And I shouldn't say potential because we do expect blowing dust in the Columbia Basin. And on the map, you can kind of see the area where we expect to see that. From all the way from Spokane to Moses Lake to Pasco and all the way up to Omak. Visibilities will range between 1 and 10 miles. However, there's going to be localized areas where the visibility drops to 1/4 of a mile or less. Okay? And we expect this to be next to recently worked fields. And if the visibility does drop to 1/4 mile or less, the National Weather Service will put out a dust storm warning for that particular area. Okay, this is what visibilities less than 1/4 mile may look like. Again, they're going to be isolated to recently worked fields, just the roads adjacent to those fields. And if these conditions do come to fruition tomorrow, this has the potential to close roads such as Highway 2 and possibly even Highway 90. Next up, we wanted to talk about travel. We have our wind graphic on the right showing gusts between 40 and 50 miles per hour. We also labeled the wind direction with those black arrows. So if you're traveling along Highway 2 or I-90, you can see you'll have a crosswind, and this is going to make travel difficult for RVs, campers, or semi-trucks. But it's a little bit different of a story on Highway 95, where it's going to be more of a headwind. Finally, we wanted to discuss localized power outages and downed trees. Okay, this is not an expected impact, but it's a potential impact for Monday. We could see localized power outages and downed trees in areas really where the gusts exceed 45 miles per hour. Also, if you are out camping and it is the holiday weekend where there are many campers out, please be aware that fallen branches have killed people before. Not necessarily the tree, but just the branches falling. And we do expect branches to fall tomorrow. Finally, we wanted to look at a timeline of when we expect these impacts and when the winds will ramp up. So in Sandpoint, Omak, and Moses Lake, those winds are going to ramp up quite early, between 3 and 6 a.m. We're going to start feeling those impacts between 6 and 9 a.m., possibly down trees in Sandpoint, and the dust getting picked up in Moses Lake. For Spokane and Wenatchee, the stronger winds might come just a little bit later, between 9 and 12 a.m., but you can see by the time we reach Monday evening, we should be through the event, and we'll just go back to minor impacts as winds stay elevated during the evening hours. So in summary, tomorrow we're going to see a strong cold front move through, bringing gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. We expect these impacts. We expect elevated fire danger, we expect blowing dust in the Columbia Basin, and we do expect it to be difficult to travel for high-profile vehicles. The possible impacts include localized power outages and downed trees. So with that, we're going to wrap up our briefing, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the National Weather Service in Spokane. Thank you.